Okay, hi everyone. So welcome to Training with Fenway. We are going to run through just like a few quick things that I'm doing with him right now. These are some of the first things that he learned and things that I taught him. Number one is waiting patiently for me to hand him food. It's really important to me when I'm doing a training session that he's not mobbing me for the food. So I actually have taught him that if he stations on his little mat right here, food is actually going to appear over here to him. And I started with just kind of encouraging him, tossing a treat off of the mat, and guiding him back onto the mat. And this is actually the mat that I take to every single group class and every single new environment that we go to as well. So he gets a lot of good things for actually stationing on this mat. And that's something that he naturally does. So I did a little bit of mat work with him, very, very rudimentary, no shaping necessarily. I started with just luring him over to the mat, and we'll talk about luring too, but luring him over to the mat, and then lots of goodies happen whenever he gets on the mat. And then we kind of worked on having a handful of treats, and yes, good boy. And he gets the treats literally for just not coming forwards towards them. Yes, good boy, very nice. So I get a nice patient puppy that is actually waiting for his treats to be delivered instead of him like mobbing my hand for the treats instead. That's a good boy, yes. Very nice. Hey guys, okay, so I'm working on editing this video, and I wanted to include some of the things that this bandana specifically, and you can't see it because it's under the bandana, but what Fen is actually wearing in this video. This is a local company called Walkie Woo, and they're a local Colorado company. Hi, buddy. They're a local Colorado company that makes these dog collars and bandanas that you guys have probably seen pictures and videos of Wrigley. This is a bandana I actually already had from them that I didn't even realize was their bandana. I really, really, really like their things. This bandana is double-sided, so there's another side with a different coloration pattern. It says take a hike, which is super cute, and you've got the Rockies in the background. And then this one is also like a mountain range and is double-sided as well. This one is Fenway's, this one is Wrigley's, and they're this really nice like jersey material. So they're really, really nice quality, and I have actually seen these in a lot of our local pet stores around here. And I got the dogs these collars as well. This one is for Wrigley, and this one I actually just switched Fenway into because he grew out of his little baby one. So I just wanted to show these in case you guys are interested. I'm all about shopping local, and this is an excellent local company that you can order directly from their website, even if you're not in Colorado. I'd highly recommend checking out their bandanas. The sport ones is what these are, and they've got a number of different colors. This one is a mountain range, and this one is like a bandana type of, pattern. So I have a code. I'm going to leave it in the description of this video that will give you guys a nice little discount on these items or things like this in case you're interested. And you'll see Fenway wearing this bandana and this collar, and Wrigley's been wearing this bandana for a while now, probably upwards of a year, so you may have already seen that. But yeah, wanted to throw that in there, give you guys the opportunity to take advantage of a little discount. I also took this opportunity to teach him different marker cues. He knows the word yes means food is coming, and he also knows the click means food is coming as well, and he did something right. So yes, I like to use in a more like calm context that I want him to remain calm. He's in a really awkward sit right now, like half sit, half down, but this is one that I use when I want him to remain a little bit more calm. So we'll use it for mat work, we'll use it for when he's hanging out in his playpen, in his crate, different things like that. And here he's gonna kind of mess with my hand. Yes, good boy. I'm just gonna wait until he backs off and he stops doing that, and then he gets the reward. Not a leave it exercise, just simple manners, basically. So we kind of worked on that. Luring is also a big one that I use in training, and actually one that I need to revisit with him, because since he's gotten a little bit older, he has been less excited if I am sitting down to follow the food. Good boy. So all I'm doing to teach this is targeting his nose at the treat and then moving it just an inch or two forwards, and my goal is for his nose to stay pretty dang close to my hand the entire time as I'm moving it. So that's all I do. There's no cue or anything associated with it. It's just teaching him, hey, when I move my hand and it has food in it, I want you to follow it. So since he is actually a little bit tentative about this at this stage, I thought this was a good one to film to show you guys, because Wrigley is really, really good at luring, and I went through a similar thing with her when I first got her, but she's really good at it, so you're not going to see her hesitate at all. But if your puppy does hesitate, or your adult dog, if they hesitate, you move too far forwards, what you want to do is kind of bring that back to their nose. Think of their nose and your hand like two magnets, and you don't really want to separate those two too far, because eventually I want to teach him different behaviors using this technique of luring. So I want him to be really comfortable. If I target his nose with a treat, I want him to follow that treat wherever it is that I go. Good boy. Well done. Well done. And Fen also really likes praise. So I usually talk to him a lot when we're training and encourage him along the way. Good boy, well done, Bobby, good job. And you guys can kind of see how just me talking to him like shifts his body language. Good boy, get it, nice. And you get it, good boy. I just made that a more like upbeat, exciting game for him than me just like sitting here being boring talking to you guys. And now I'm going back to talking to you guys, and he is following the food a whole lot more than he was before. So luring is really a helpful technique to work on with your puppy. And standing up and making it exciting, yeah, good boy, nice job. And making it kind of into a game for them, good boy, can be really helpful as well. I'm gonna move his mat out of the way. So luring is one, and we can go into teaching like a sit. With luring, just lifting the treat up over his head. I have a video on how to teach that. Down, spin, all these different behaviors. So those are all really good things to work on. Now, the other thing that we started to work on is an attention-getting noise or sound. I have several that I tend to use, and Ryan tends to use as well with Fenway. This is meant for if he's doing something or he's getting into something that we don't really prefer, like chewing on the baseboards or chewing on Ryan's pants or something like that. Something that we would prefer that he's not doing in that moment. It's something to grab his attention. And then after that, it's important that you redirect them onto something appropriate for them to chew on. So with this one, I can use food to teach this initially. So I tend to switch back and forth between a couple sounds. So I do a pss, 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 go away. And then I immediately pair that with food. Pss, pss, yeah, good boy. Pss, pss, good, very nice. And Fen already knows this sound, so he gets excited about it because it actually means something to him. So that's one of them. I also do a kissing noise. Yes, good job. Good boy. Very nice. And then whenever he was actually like latching onto the back of my bare ankles and like digging holes into my skin because border collie, and it actually hurt. Instead of going to one of those noises, I would use a hey, and I'd make it a really upbeat hey, but I like felt pain in that moment, and I didn't necessarily want him to catch on to the fact that he made me squeal, basically. So I turned that into a hey, yes, good boy, hey, So I'm really just looking for him to have like a nice positive response to that. And then over time, hey, yes, good boy, I can start to actually use it almost kind of like a recognition type of thing after a while. I want to look for, hey, are you able to, hey, if you're able to turn around whenever I say that word or I do that particular noise, that's what I'm looking for, to actually interrupt behavior. So I can toss a little treat away. Hey, yay, good boy. And I can click and treat him or mark and reward him for actually turning and making eye contact with me. So that is an exercise that we worked on, just conditioning those sounds or actual words, pairing the word with the food, and I would use high value food. I don't have high value food on me right now, but I would use high value food, something like little bits of cheese or chicken or steak, stuff like that. So conditioning a little positive interrupter is kind of what I would call that. It's pretty good, huh? Yeah. So that, as well as getting on and off different surfaces. Good boy. Well done. And learning to station there. This is something that I need him to later on in his life be very comfortable with doing so that he can help me demo in my classes. So him learning to station on different surfaces is something that he's been very highly rewarded for. Good boy, is that the wind? Yeah. That's been something he's been really highly rewarded for and something we've kind of just started to work on as well. All of these actual like training concepts, I wouldn't say like the positive interrupter, the kissy sound, the hey, all of that kind of stuff. More so I need that in my day-to-day life with him, rather than like the platform training and what else did we talk about just now? The platform training, the luring, all of that kind of stuff are more training type of concepts. I've only started doing that with him in the last like 2 weeks, honestly. Prior to that, it's all been focused on socialization. So food gets paired with experiences basically, and stationing and all of that kind of stuff is just now starting to happen. He's 15 weeks old now, and I'm starting to actually see that he's enjoying training sessions and he's like actually wanting to learn new things. So now his age, we're just starting to teach him new stuff. So that is some things that he's been working on, as well as getting comfortable in his playpen. It's just about dinner time for him, so I think he's kind of ready, and we're looking for water. That's a good boy. So that's kind of what we've been working on. Sit is the other one that he gets really excited about, meeting new people. So he is learning to sit for access to a lot of things in his life right now, especially meeting new people. So we work on sit. Good boy, very nice. Yeah, you're dribbling water. Sit is also a behavior that he's learning. He doesn't quite know down on a verbal cue yet, but we're also just starting to dabble into that. Sit. Good boy. Well done. Very nice. He is just starting to learn the process of all of these different obedience things. So these are a few of the things I've been working on with him, and next things to come are a lot of like handling type stuff. He gets really uncomfortable whenever I'm putting his harness or collar on, so we've been doing a lot of desensitizing, me actually like reaching and touching where his harness or his collar actually is. Yes, good boy. That's something I'm going to make a separate video about because he is very uncomfortable with it, and it's something that we're working through, and I want to show you guys in more depth. So and also his name. So he didn't know his name for the first good boy, for the first couple of weeks really that we had him here. Yeah, hi Bobby. Hi Bobby, cute boy. Yeah. So he also has been learning his name, Fen. Cute boy. Well done. I've really been working on like Fen and Fenway because that's typically what I call him. But playing this little name game basically where I say Fenway, yeah, good boy, that's so good, buddy, very nice, very nice. and I praise him and I talk to him and I load him up, and I typically will do this with like his favorite treats. I'll use like steak and cheese and bacon and all the good stuff. So his pupils literally dilate whenever he hears his name. So that's a game that we've been playing with him, and starting to actually teach him to respond to it if I say it from far away. I want you to come over to me. So that's something that I'm going to also make a separate video about, but something we've been working on. So, oh, good boy. That's very nice station. Yeah. Can you sit? Can't sit. Gotta get on me. So cute. You're so very cute. Yes, it is. My gosh. You're such a good boy. You're such a good boy. Yes, you are. You're such a good boy. My gosh. My gosh, so handsome. You're so handsome, yeah. And he's about reached his limit in terms of working with me. So, yes, those are some of the things we've been working on. Also, toy motivation and building on that. He's not really in a toy mood right now. I think he's looking for some dinner, but working on some basic tug skills and playing with a toy together in new environments. Fen gets pretty excited by toys and tug toys in particular, so getting him excited and wanting to like bring toys back to me, different stuff like that. So that is what we have been kind of working on in the few weeks that, not even a few weeks, in the last like 2 weeks. And we're just starting to get into a bunch more different training concepts. He's going through an agility class right now, and I'm starting to teach him some foundations for groundwork for disc type stuff as well. And all of the obedience stuff is going to also come along with that. So that is kind of what we have been doing the last couple of weeks that he has been wanting to learn. So we're going to go now so he doesn't get frustrated at me. Hey, buddy. Come here. Good boy. Should we go see sister? Should we go see her? Yeah, he's a good boy. He's a real good boy. So cute. So cute. Yep. So, that is Fen. That is the Fenway boy. Alright.